whole scheme is falling apart, and they're afraid. These Europeans are afraid. Okay, they think, okay, well, we are competent. We know how to manage an economy, and if we have all these strange colored peoples running the planet, it's all going to go to ruin. It's sort of like the white people in South Africa thinking if we let Mandela in charge, everything's going to go to hell, you know. It's wrong-headed thinking. They're just that's not how it works. And they have their little gatherings, right? But I mean, look at Bilderberg. You know, they consider themselves a secret government. They won't even let any Japanese in there or anybody who's not European. They're shooting themselves in the foot with their.
It's a private European club. You're right. That's another excellent observation. So the Chinese and what about the Indians? 1.1 billion people. They're not.
Well, the Indians. Their Indian newspapers, they don't refer to the U.S. government. They call it the ruling families. You know, they know the truth, and they were controlled by the Rothschilds for 300 years, and Gandhi threw them out. They know what the story is, and they're not going to let themselves be under control again ever. And they're starting to develop. So they've got 83% of the planet now saying enough is enough, and the people inside Europe and inside North America. They're sick and tired of this EU propaganda. The Americans, are appalled by their government. It's just an endgame situation. We're really like Russia before the collapse of the Iron Curtain. We're on the verge of something really big. This will be a total collapse of an old 300-year-old political order and the beginning of a new one. And these people have a choice between a peaceful transition that'll benefit them and a chaotic transition that'll leave them all dead, or something in between. And I'm trying to say to them, let's go for the peaceful route. Let's try to make everybody happy. It's possible. And they have to do that by realizing that they're not God, and they're not the superior people who are destined to rule everybody as slaves. That's not going to happen.
Most Americans do, literally, those who care about the world, have pretty serious case of tunnel vision. They see America and Europe, and everything else is kind of third world in their mind, if they think about it at all. And the point of the issue is that this is the minority when you look at the planet in its totality.
Sure, there's a joke in Asia, right? It's what do you call somebody who speaks 3 languages? Trilingual. What do you call someone who speaks 2 languages? Bilingual. What do you call someone who speaks 1 language? American. By sticking only to English and only to their own culture, they're getting more and more left behind. The Japanese, the Chinese, they know all about European culture and philosophy and everything. The reverse is not true. The Europeans and Americans are ignorant of the world.
Absolutely,
and it'll destroy them. The ignorance will destroy them.
Okay, hold on. Back in just a minute. Our final segment already tonight with Benjamin Fulford live from Tokyo. And we'll do that in just a couple. All right, let's go up to Montana and say hello to Mike. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the program.
Well, hello. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure.
Just a couple things real quick. I want to thank Benjamin for doing this service, for what he is doing for our country. We applaud you up here in Montana. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. It's an honor.
I was wondering if there's any truth to what you have heard or know about. Like I've heard for years now, there's like 1 million-man Chinese army down in the Mexican border waiting to come across. Do you know anything about that?
False. It's not true.
I've heard nothing like that, and I wouldn't believe it. You can't hide 1 million-man army.
No, it's just not true. It's unfortunately, excuse me, Ben, but Mike, having dealt with the Internet for a long, long time, I'm sure you have too, these kinds of stories pop up from time to time. They're so fantastic, for some reason, intelligent people will grab them. They'll say it's too much of a lie. There has to be some truth to it. In this case, there is none.
Okay, wonderful. I'm glad to hear that.
But, some people are also skeptical about whether or not there really is this Chinese secret society. And I have given a phone number to the U.S. intelligence people and stuff. They can confirm it. It's not a false story. These people are real, and they're very, very serious. And they're mostly scholars. So you have these Chinese in every research laboratory in the U.S. You have them controlling Silicon Valley. It's not just gangsters and assassins. they're all very intelligent people. To get into society, you have to be very intelligent, or you have to be a gangster. And so, if these people do decide to move, there will be no stopping them. This is not some crazy internet thing. I mean, I can provide a phone number or a website. You can check it in the history books. And the other thing, some people are skeptical about ninja. Well, ninjutsu is the hardest of all the martial arts. They've been training U.S. Special Forces since the end of World War II. Anybody knows they're real. And there are, about 100,000 U.S. Special Forces have received that training, special martial arts training. So there is a force of, I know it sounds like, you think ninja, Teenage Mutant Turtles or something, but no, these are real people. So anything I've said can be independently verified, and I want to make that clear. I'm not some nutcase. I'm a guy who asked the wrong question. I asked, why doesn't Japan use their money to save the planet? And I was told the answer is that it's because the Rockefellers won't let us, and we'd like you to help us deal with the situation, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, we totally believe that what you're doing is true. And I do have one other thing. I was wondering if you have heard of any other Homeland Security buildup in any other cities across the country, because we've heard here in Kalispell, Montana, there was like 300 more Homeland Security people have been coming in. B-52 bomber flew into our airport. Military helicopters have been flying in.
And you've never seen a B-52 there before?
No.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, these people have hired tons and tons of mercenaries and tons of soldiers and bully boys, okay? They think they got all the bully boys lined up so they can do whatever they want. And the trick to stopping these people is learn from Mahatma Gandhi. Do not fight them. That plays into their hands. Just ignore them. Passive resistance. A general strike is all it would take. So, the Americans have been turned into couch potatoes. Well, fine. They have a couch potato revolution. Stay home and watch TV. Don't go to work. If they come up with a fake terrorist attack again and want to declare martial law, then just declare a general strike. Everybody stay home and watch TV, and that'll be all it takes to flush these people out. Yeah. They have all the hard power and they have zero soft power. They don't have the hearts and minds, and therefore they're doomed. That's the thing to remember. They look so strong, they look so overwhelming, but people don't believe in them. People won't follow them. So please don't try to fight them. That'll be like peasants with pitchforks against steel-armed mercenaries. That plays into their hands. And that's why I'm trying to convince the Chinese to avoid anything that gives these guys an excuse to scale up into World War III. That's what they want. Everybody else wants peace. And so it's got to be a peace movement, but a real one, a strong one that at the end of the day, if it has to, it will kill. But, first let's talk.
Right.
Okay, also keep in mind that Representative Congressman DeFazio is not even being told, and he's supposed to be in oversight over Homeland Security. They won't tell him what their plans are in case of a national emergency and martial law potential. So, yeah, there's big plans afoot for sure. I can't tell you with any specificity what's going on. Your observations are very important. If you've never seen a B-52 there, one would perhaps ask the airport what it was doing there just for fun and see what they say.
Yeah.
Interesting, for sure.
Yeah, and there's some base near Mount Fuji where they've got all these funky new generation aircraft that look like UFOs, and some secret base there, too, that's been very active recently. They are trying. They're desperate. This is like their last big stunt. And I'm trying to tell them, please don't. It's a mistake. It won't work. And back down before it's too late. You're not. The thing is, they're scared and they're desperate, and so we have to make them a peaceful alternative.
Well, they clearly do feel that the clock is ticking. Mike, thanks very much for your calls.
And thank you very much for your time, and cool. We bless you.
Thank you. Desperation, desperate men, desperate women, desperate people who are satanic in their orientation can do desperate things. It'll be interesting to see. Again, you're the messenger, so we'll find out. 48 hours, you'll see if you get a response. You have given a phone number to an intelligence agency that they can check out and find out about the secrets. One would think they already have a profile on them, if nothing else.
They already checked them out. They sent someone to try to tell lies about me and stuff, so they know I'm telling the truth. But it's not just the Chinese. There's other people now on the move. So what I'm trying to tell them is whatever they got planned for August, well, talk to